What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Anybody catch my Xbox live stream earlier today? It was kind of fun. Running a test to see if really I just wanted to see how much a new video game could entice traffic to a channel, especially one that has no type of background in video game streaming. I thought it was interesting. I had a lot of fun. So essentially what we were doing was I just wanted to see how much traffic we could generate. And the funny part is we really didn't get much. This was all inspired because I have a friend who last night was gaming on Facebook. And so I'm actually going to test it on Facebook too, I think. But he was gaming on Facebook and, on Facebook Watch. And he has 2 videos up. That's it. And no following whatsoever. But somehow he was able to amass a live stream audience of about 3,000 active viewers at one time and about 44,000 views on the video, which is crazy, considering he has no following whatsoever. And so I wanted to see if it was the game that he was doing and if I could replicate those results on YouTube. So it was an interesting test, but obviously didn't yield the results that I was hoping it would. And I was the only person live streaming that game at that time, but it was during the middle of the day. See, that's the other thing. It's hard to even gauge whether that was a solid test or not. So I want to eventually run that same stream again, do a live stream, but do it at nighttime when people are out of school and off of work and things like that, and they're more likely to watch. Just like right now, you guys are more likely to hop on this live stream because of the fact that most of you are already off of work or you're not in school. God, I'm so spaced out today. It's been a long week. We've got a lot of work done. We're building a new website for Serial, doing a lot of updating to like link structure and strategy with regards to content marketing, which was really interesting to see. We did an analysis of my brand and then the top brands out there for digital marketing. What's crazy is my website and my blog actually receives more blog content than Joe Soto, Jordan Platt, Naman Godzi, Six Figure Agency, or whatever that is, Six Figure SMMA, all of the major brands out there outside of Ty Lopez that you can think of. We actually receive more website traffic organically than they do by like a lot, like 3 to 5 times, and in some instances 1,000 times as much website traffic than these guys are. So that was really interesting and great to see. So I'm glad you guys are utilizing the blog content that we put together and that people are actually vibing with it, that it's actually stuff that you guys like to read. Which says a lot because our blog content in the beginning, I wasn't really putting a ton of effort into blogging. I was putting more of the effort into YouTube to start. And so really, really happy to see the results that we've been able to get. But let's go ahead and do roll call. Alan, what's up? BXT Geek, Tina, Chance, Steven, Godfather, J98, Sebastian, Jan, Push, Ali. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Yeah, Facebook is really pushing their gaming and really their watch platform a ton, which I don't quite understand why that's a big initiative. I understand gaming is obviously a huge industry, but I don't understand why specifically they're wanting to have their own watch type of channel. I think it's more to do with competing with YouTube than it is with just gaming in general, because it's not just watch, it's all kinds of stuff that they're actually showing video content for. So I think they're actually trying to be more competitive with YouTube. Steven says he's ready to start his agency Monday. Have you taken any training programs, Steven? Would there even be a chance for that video game traffic to convert, hypothetically, if you got a load of traffic? So it not necessarily. That just because if we were to drive traffic from that game, doesn't mean that it would convert. It could have some crossover, but more than likely, no, because my channel is not about gaming. But again, it wasn't really about getting new followers and new subscribers and sales, because you never just do one video with the intention of generating tons of sales and content without some type of follow-up or some type of email campaign or lead magnet or ad campaign to follow up. That's where, seriously, follow-up is the key in marketing. So there was never any intention of trying to use it to generate more sales, but it could get a nice boost in traffic to the page, which could help other videos perform better too. But that's really it. Sebastian, I'm not sure what you mean by smart contracts. What do you mean? Do you have something do you have more information about what that is? Is that like a brand, or what is that? Steven, thank you. I appreciate that. The content is straight fire though. I have a question. When you finish talking about the gaming, LO, I want to know about your mentorship and how it works. Ali, which mentorship? Are you talking about the $10 program? Because essentially the way that program works is we do 2 meetings a week. Tuesday and Wednesday we have live calls on a private Zoom call. They're small group settings, so anywhere from 5 to 15 people in a group setting. And you guys are allowed to ask as many questions as you can get into that session. And then we have discussion about those topics. But it's really you can ask anybody. I know Janetta's in the group. I don't see Dino is in the group, and he's asking a question. I'm not sure I see anybody else currently that's on the live stream now that's in the group. But there are tons of people in the group, and I'm sure they would tell you it's super valuable. I know Janetta will. She's there every single week getting information. So if you are interested, again, it's only $10 a month. It's literally the cheapest mentorship program you could ever find. It is the most valuable and affordable. I shouldn't even say cheap, because that kind of takes away from it. It's the most valuable and affordable program you could possibly get access to. And if you just show up, you get tons and tons of value. And even if you don't show up, we post the recordings to the group every single week. So you still get access to the Q&A sessions. And, we kind of rotate it. We do Q&A, then a training, then a Q&A, then a training. Hey, Janetta. Hey, Xavier. So what's the giveaway? I won the previous time, and you just said congrats. I mean, Anthony, did you not get a promo code to join? I don't remember your name winning. I mean, you might have won. I'm not sure. But if you did win, you have to message our Facebook page, and we'll send you a code. But we are going to verify whether you actually won or not. So I'll need you to if you didn't get the code, I'll need you to tell us what week you won, so that way we can go back and verify at the end of that video, because we're not really in the business of just giving things away for free for no reason, right? What's up, Dino? Peter, what's going on? Mixer, which is a streaming platform, shut down, and Facebook Gaming bought it. Yeah. So then there's definitely some, but here's the thing. Again, Facebook Watch has been growing rapidly for the last year. There's more and more people posting long-form video content on Facebook, and I think I think Mixer is just a small portion of it, but I think it's more of an approach or a strategy to compete with YouTube. How do you get paid from a client? Do you wait for them to send you the money, or can you charge them every month? Thanks. So we send them an invoice. So yeah, and then if they don't pay, they have after the 30-day mark, they have 3 days to make sure that their payment is in. And if they don't make their payment after 3 days, we cut off all work. That's how I work it. VXT Geek, I'm glad you love the content. I promise you'll love the courses even more if you haven't checked those out yet. Push signed up earlier today. Signed up for what? The digital marketing school or the mentorship program? Which one? We have 6 programs now. You started your agency in January. You're signing up tonight. Have you taken my digital marketing school? Because that's the thing, guys. The mentorship is great. Mentorship is a great way for you to do continued education and to get support when you need it. But if you need to figure out how to actually build, grow, and scale your agency, you're going to want a more in-depth program. And a lot of people, I'm literally in the process. I wrote a page today for our new website that's talking about the biggest issues that I see that most people have when they start an agency. Most people try to go the free method or a cheap course method, which is totally fine to start. But eventually you have to try and become an expert or get to an intermediate level of understanding. And that's where most people are like, oh, well, I just don't think it's worth it. Well, I would say that, I had a student earlier this week that she's in the digital marketing school. She landed a $100,000 client. How many of you would love to land a $100,000 client? I think their contract was 9 to 10 months long, something like that, worth $100,000. It's actually 140 total is what she told me. But her revenue directly is going to be about 100,000. And that's one client. She said she also signed on an affiliate partner, which is one of their affiliated companies, for another 40 to 50K. So she's already at $150,000 in revenue in a matter of a month after joining my program. Like, that's the thing, guys. You can do it, but you have to take the education part seriously. And there's so many people who just try to go the free route or the cheap route, and that's a good way to start. Again, that's why I offer a $7 beginner level course. Internet juice. I mean, yeah, if you want, again, the $7 program is not for you to try and learn everything and then go out and get clients. The $7 program is literally meant to teach you the intro level material that you're going to want to get to know once you really decide that you're going to commit to your agency. But once you commit to your agency and you commit to the starting a marketing agency, you need deeper, more in-depth, more intermediate, advanced level training. And that's where most people won't take that dive, and it's because they've been screwed over before, which I totally get, because there are a lot of, let's just say, amateur gurus out there, these guys who think they know a lot about digital marketing, and they've been doing it for a year or 2 years. Guys, I've been doing this, my agency, with our combined experience between everybody, over 30 years. Myself alone, I've been doing this for 10 years. Who would you really trust to teach you something? Somebody who's been doing it for 2 years or 10 years? That's the thing that most people don't even take into consideration. Like Aman Gadzi. Kudos to the kid because he's making good money. Kudos because he understands digital marketing. That's fine. But when you really ask yourself, should I learn from a guy who's been doing this for 2 years, who has a handful of mistakes that they've had to overcome, versus somebody who's probably done it, or who's done it, 10 years plus, that has seen every mistake that you could possibly make with digital marketing? Like, who would you trust, really? And I'm not saying this to boast about myself. I want you guys to understand, like, when you go to, if I were to leave my business today and I was to go to a welding school, like an underwater welding school, which I still think is one of the coolest jobs ever. But if I wanted to go to an underwater welding school, do you think that I would go and learn from the guy who's been doing underwater welding for a year? 2 years? No. That is a very dangerous job. You're under the water. Welding is already dangerous. There's so many different things that can happen that could kill you. I'm going to want to go and talk to the guy who's been doing it for at least 10 years because I want to know the ins and outs of every circumstance or situation that could possibly happen. So, just take the training serious, guys. That's the thing. If you want to be one of the students who actually gets to message me and say, Jordan, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Your training really helped me. I just landed a $100,000 client. Then take the training seriously. All of you guys who are struggling to land clients and you're struggling to get your campaigns going and you're struggling to keep clients, happy, it's because you're not taking the training seriously. Or it's because you took a intro level course, or you took the free trainings and you thought that was going to get you by. That is half-assing your job. Anytime that somebody comes to me and they're like, yeah, I really need your help. Okay, cool. What type of training have you taken before? Oh, well, I'm just getting started. Okay, cool. So then I direct them to that. But then they come back 2 months later. I'm struggling. I just don't understand. People won't buy from me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, have you taken an advanced level training yet? No, I just don't think it's really worth it, or I don't think it's going to really help me. Okay, well then I'm not going to help you because I'm not going to sit here and waste my time with you if you're not willing to really, truly invest in yourself. The education is the most serious part of all of this. I want you guys to see what I wrote, because I spent a lot of time on this, and I think it really hits the nail on the head. Excuse me. This is our new wireframe we're actually building for my website. The niche that she was in, she closed a nonprofit. That's all I'm allowed to say. I'm not going to say anything more about what she's done. She's trying to keep it a little hush-hush herself, because she wants to be able to take up as much business as she can. And so I'm not going to do that to her. But I want you guys to see this top part right here. This is my Start Here page. This is like for people who are getting started and they don't really know anything about it yet. I've been able to train so many thousands of successful digital marketing agency owners. Maria being a perfect example. That's the girl who landed a $100,000 client. We're actually going to put her message there. But I've also seen tons of people fail on their journey to becoming successful agency owner. Want to know the primary reason this happened? Shortcuts. Every person that I've ever seen fail in this industry has been the type of person to look for some type of shortcut to getting rich. This leads to shortcuts in your work ethic, your education, your effort, and ultimately your business. If you're smart, you've realized by now there are no shortcuts to becoming wealthy, just good old-fashioned hard work. And let me be honest, I used to be the same person. Want to know what changed? I kept failing. But if you know me, you know I don't like to use the word fail. What really happened is I learned that I could get some traction on whatever it was I was trying to accomplish, but it would only get so far before things stopped working. Why? Because I was taking shortcuts. I was trying to do it the easy way. I was never really able to reach my goals, and this was all due to trying to take shortcuts. Did this ever happen to you? Has this ever actually happened to any of you guys? I'm asking an actual question to you guys right now. Have you ever taken a shortcut on something and it ended up kicking you in the butt? It ended up like you shot yourself in the foot, because really, if you would have done it the long way, which it might have been a little bit more boring at first, and it might have taken a little bit longer, but you would have gotten a 10,000 times better result if you would have done it that way. So my advice to you is, if you've been this person in the past, stop right now. Make a conscious choice to change and understand that the work might be a little boring at first, but down the road, you'll thank yourself for committing to the entire process instead of skipping past what you thought was useless information. Why? Because for the first time in your life, you'll finally start to feel like you have a complete understanding of something. You'll truly start to feel accomplished and like you've mastered this awesome subject known as digital marketing. But now let's get to the good stuff. And that's all the rest, it's about the step-by-step guide to getting your agency started, everything like that. But guys, that's the thing. How many of you are taking shortcuts? How many of you are trying the easy way? Because I guarantee you, you're going to be the ones that come to me in 6 months and say that you've tried, or you won't come to me in 6 months because you'll be moving on to the next thing because this didn't work out for you. But 90% of the time, what I see is people try this and they half-ass try. They get an intro level course, or they read blogs and watch YouTube videos, but they don't really ever actually commit. And if that's you, I'm telling you right now, stop. Just stop trying to start this business, because you're not going to make it. Again, if money's in the way, if you grow up in a poor household or a lower income household, and it's harder for you to afford something like this, then I totally understand. Like, I get that. There's still ways that you can make this happen. There's ways for everybody to make this happen. But if you're in a lower income household, that is the only, and it's not even an excuse, but that is the only reason I would ever be able to understand that you wouldn't invest in a $549 course or in our $4,500 course where we do it with you, right? There's no reason. And for those of you who are still sitting there just like on the fence about taking a real training, I would say if it's been more than 2 to 3 months and you're still sitting on the fence, you just need to get off the fence and stop. You don't need to be doing this, because it's not going to help you to sit there and keep wondering whether you should invest in something. Because if you're scared to invest in yourself, if you're scared to invest in yourself, you're not going to be a good entrepreneur. I'm telling you that right now. Like, entrepreneurs have that ability to be decisive about something and just say, I know this is good for me. I need to do some research to find out who's going to be the best trainer or what's going to be the best option, but I know that what I'm doing right now is good for me. And I'm going to take action and make things happen because I can see the upside potential. But if you're one of those people who just constantly just goes back and forth, you have to adjust that mentality. Good entrepreneurs, great entrepreneurs, are not indecisive. They are very decisive, and they know when they see a clear path to something, they know what they have to do to get there. And even if they don't know, they do everything they can to figure out what they have to do to get there. So, sorry I had to go on my little rant a little bit. And then nobody caused it. None of you actually caused it. But I just want you guys to see the seriousness of what you actually need to be doing if you want to build a successful business. The girl that I'm talking about who did the $100,000 client, Maria, she's been busting ass trying to get this thing to work. And she has some connections in some industries, and she finally got something to stick. And now she's she was on a call, and she's like jumping up and down she's jumping up and down because of how excited she is, because she thought, it was just going to be this impossible task. And then she realized if she just stopped worrying about all of the things that could happen negatively and just focus on what she can do to improve herself and to find new clients and to build her business, all the other stuff just kind of goes away. And that's exactly what happened. So I hope you guys are taking it seriously. What is the number one requirement for a successful closing of a client during a live call? Confidence. If you lack the confidence to sell or talk about your products or services, you will have a very, very hard time getting that client to actually buy from you. Confidence is key. Didn't get a code. It was August 20th. So Anthony, actually just send, again, you need to send us a Facebook message. I know I said it in the call, but you need to go to facebook.com/serialentrepreneur and send us a message. I'm not going to chase you guys down, and I know I said it in the call because I say it every time we do a giveaway. You got to go to that Facebook page. You got to send us a message. Make sure you tell them that you won on August 20th, and then they'll review the video and send over a code if you were the winner. Why is SEO and PPC more important over Facebook ads when it comes to car dealers? Because most people don't go to Facebook to search for a car. So when you're in the process of about to buy a car, the very first place people go is Google. They'll type in the make and the model of the car they're trying to go after, maybe just the make, maybe just the model. But that's, like, I would say, if I had to put a number on it, I would say probably 95% of the time people start a brand new car search when they have an intention of going to a dealership on Google. That's why it's the most important, because that's where you're going to capture that top of funnel audience. Maurice, welcome to a live. What's the big $100 bill behind you? It's a big $100 bill. It's a big canvas. I just like it. It's so, and it not that my whole life is driven based off of money, but I want to walk in and see things that motivate me. Like this one right here. It says, hustle until your haters ask if you're hiring. I love that shit. I love it so much because I had so many people who did not understand what I was doing and who didn't believe in what I was doing. I have people who told me that I was running a pyramid scheme. I was like, you clearly are an idiot because you don't know what a pyramid scheme is. You're just spewing shit. Like, those are my favorite people who just talk to hear themselves talk. Like, oh God. If they actually knew what they were talking about, they'd be very well aware of the fact that I'm not running a pyramid scheme. It's not even close. I don't make any money off of you guys building a successful agency. So how could it be a pyramid scheme? The H in women stands for humor? What? I have no clue what that even means. There's no H. Okay. What is the number one requirement for... Oh, we already did that one. Jaws 3. What niche was the girl in? I already mentioned that. 1 out of 2. How do you handle the objection we have someone in-house? I usually say I understand that. Some of the most successful clients I've had someone in-house. We was able to work with them and create more effective campaign together. So here's the thing. You're not always going to win that battle. That's actually one of the harder battles to win. If somebody has someone in-house, they probably feel like they don't need an agency. The one thing that you can really say is, number one person cannot do every job in digital marketing. That's why it takes, most agencies have teams of 10 to 30 people that are managing campaigns. And, out of those 10 to 30 people, 5 to 7 of them are managing one client. It's impossible for one person to become an expert at every area of digital marketing. And I could prove that. I would be cocky enough to go to that person and say, look, I can give them a test right now. And if they pass it, How about this? If I give them a test right now and they pass it, I'll leave your office right now. But if I give them a test and they fail it and they can't answer even the basics of digital marketing, you have to sign on with me. That's kind of what I would go with. But also, number two, it's actually more affordable for them to pay you than it is for them to pay a full-time employee. They're actually going to cut their cost, probably their entire budget, because they're spending on ads, plus the salary, plus taxes, plus health insurance. They have to provide benefits. Like, why would you want to spend 2 times the amount of money on marketing when that person probably isn't doing 10% of what my agency could do? So those are, and again, you wouldn't exactly say it like that, but you want to be able to show them the numbers. That's really the most important part. A $500 course to land a $100,000 client are better than knowledge to execute. So the $500 course taught that person everything they needed to do several things. Number one is confidence in the services you're selling. 90, and I know I keep saying the percent, I'm up in the 90s, but that's because I've been doing this for 4 years. I've seen it happen so many times. 99% of the time when people don't land a deal, it's because they lack the confidence in themselves to sell the service they're trying to sell. And if you don't understand digital marketing, you're not going to have confidence in your sale, right? So that's really what the digital marketing school did, was she got a complete understanding of what digital marketing was and what she had to do as an agency to provide results for her client, which made her feel more confident in her ability to talk about digital marketing, which made her appeal confidently to the person that she was trying to sell to. So it's got both. Just so you know, it's not just a course on selling. I teach digital marketing, plus I teach how to sell, plus I teach building operational workflows for your agency, pricing, packaging, setting up the business, taxes, like everything you can think of from a marketing agency perspective is taught in that $500 program. And it's half the cost of a lot of these other gurus' programs. Like that's really what blows my mind, is when I see people like, I have so many students who will purchase my program after going into one of those $1,000 programs. And I'm like, wait a second. So you spent $1,000 to learn from someone who has been doing this for 2 years versus $500. I provide 3 times the amount of content as that person, if not 4 times the amount of content as that person. And I have 5 times the amount of experience that they have. Like, it kind of blows my mind. Jacob, yes. Again, if you guys haven't seen me talk about this before, if you're the one managing all of your campaigns, writing the copy, setting up the social media posts, creating the email campaigns, setting them up, running analytics, if you're the one who's actually doing that by hand, like you're the one doing it yourself, you're not running an agency. You're running a freelance business. And you can make $100,000, even possibly $200,000 a year if you charge enough. But you'll never make it to that 7-figure mark, which, $100,000 is nice. $1 million is way nicer, and you're able to live a much more comfortable lifestyle, obviously, with $1 million than $100,000. $100,000 these days is good. Again, it's not bad money, but it's kind of towards the bottom of like my ambition is way higher than $100,000. I'm not exactly sure how long it took Maria to finish the program. You'd have to ask her. And Jacob, no worries. Don't be sorry. Again, be more, here's the thing, be open-minded. A lot of people are just so close-minded. And again, I totally understand. You guys have been gypped off by tons of other gurus, and that's why you guys have a sour taste in your mouth. I totally get that. And I sympathize with that. But at the end of the day, you still have to remain open-minded when there are success stories out there. And I seriously feel like I produce more success stories than any of the other trainers out there. And it's because, and Maria even said it herself. She's like, Jordan, she's been doing traditional marketing for 20 years, right? So traditional is TV, radio, print. She's like, Jordan, I've been doing marketing for 20 years. And I've gone on YouTube, I've seen all these other gurus out there, and the only one who was actually teaching real stuff was you. She was like, and I could tell that you actually knew what you were talking about versus a lot of these other kids who are out there trying to act like they know what they're talking about. But really, it's just flashy channels. So there is a big difference. So that's why I think, for those of you who have been kind of screwed over, I'm sorry. I really am. I feel bad that there are guys out there like these people that you guys know that I'm talking about, that really they're in it for the money. She even hopped on the call. She's like, I can't believe you hopped on the call. Like you actually want to see your students do well. And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole reason I started this program, is because I want other people to live the same successful lifestyle that I'm now able to live. But, I can't make it happen for you. Yep, 100 grand is the new middle class. I'm over halfway through the DMS 2.0. Like I've said before, it's incredible, he's talking about my program, the Digital Marketing School 2.0. One thing I feel confused about is when to know which channel to use. I get you wouldn't use Facebook ads for a criminal attorney, which is my example that I like to use. But what factors should I take into account when choosing the channels? Again, it's easy if you break it down like this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to share. I guess I don't have to share. I can just hold it right here. So to understand what services to offer, first off, you have to know what services there are, right? So we have, if you guys haven't heard my acronym before, SWEPS. And yes, I made this acronym up because I'm a genius when it comes to digital marketing. And it's probably the best acronym. Oh my God, that was awful. It's probably the best acronym I've ever come up with in my life. And that's a C and an M right there, just so you guys know. Oh God, no. Paint, please. Okay. SWEPS stands for social, web, email. If you guys can't figure this out by now, you're probably new, which is okay. And SEO, right? Now, how do you know which service to provide? Here's the thing, guys. Most of you are working with small and medium-sized businesses. And actually, J98, have you seen my video on 3-step marketing? Answer me that, because if you have seen that video, I didn't even think about undo. Thanks, Jacob. And I do know it's Control Z. I just didn't even think to use it. I never use Paint. That's why. Anyway, so when you guys are working with businesses, 90% of you are working with businesses that are small and medium-sized local businesses, right? They're either professional services or they're product-based businesses like a makeup store or something like that, right? So what you have to understand is the type of business you're working with and where do those customers typically start their journey, right? That's how you know. You want to know the funnel. We have top of funnel, right? Middle, and we have bottom. Does everybody understand what I mean by funnel right now? You guys still there? Oh, yeah, I see where we're at. I just wrote in B on the live stream. Okay, so we have top, middle, and bottom of funnel. What that means is top of funnel is where new people are coming in. This is like if you have a brand, well, J98, that's why you don't understand. You need to watch 3-step marketing. Here's the thing, guys. If you are in the course, I always tell people this. Do not, let me get over here so you can see me. Do not skip videos. I have a guy who just signed on with my Done With You agency program. He's an older guy, very experienced in digital or in marketing. He's done more of the old school digital marketing, so like banner ads, Google display, things like that. And he's wanting to get into new digital marketing. And the biggest thing that he told me, he's like, Jordan, I messed up. I was like, why? What happened? He goes, I just started jumping through your course looking for the videos that I wanted to learn about, and I realized that I was missing information. And then I figured it out in one video where you were like, in this previous video that I just went over, I mentioned this. And I realized, oh, he built these videos in order, in a specific order, so that way I could get every piece of information. Like this video training that I put together was so strategically built. Like, I'm telling you guys, that's why it's one of the best out there. It's not just like, hey, here's a video, like a lot of these guys do. Like, this is a strategically built program, and this was my second go at it. The first go was one of the biggest, like, game changers in digital marketing training ever. And then we really learned what we were doing and really how to do it well. The 2.0 is freaking amazing. And anyways, so J98, if you haven't watched that video yet, you need to watch 3-Step Marketing. It's also on my YouTube channel. For those of you who want to get a basic idea of what 3-Step Marketing is, I put it on my YouTube channel a long time ago, long before I even put it in the DMS 2.0. But essentially what it means is you have top of funnel services, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. What is going to be in the top of funnel? We could have social, so I'm going to put SOC, right? Social media ads, PPC, SEO, and content marketing, right? These are the 4 primary ways that you can drive new traffic to a business's website. I can't use email, right? How do you email someone that's never heard of you before? You don't even have their email. So that's impossible. A website, the only way that somebody can go directly to your website with it being top of funnel is if they've heard of you before. So maybe they've seen you out on, like, driving by, and they went and they typed in a random web address, but they probably even started with search. They probably said, restaurant here on this road, because they didn't know what your website address was going to be, right? So you can't really say web, you can't say email. So that leaves PPC, SEO, content marketing, and social. Now, when you look at this, all we have to do is we have to understand, okay, when should I use each of these different services? Well, again, that applies differently based on what type of business you're trying to market for. Companies that are in the professional services, like plumbing, auto dealers, attorneys, accountants, salons even, professional style services do really great with PPC and SEO in the top of funnel. Most businesses, I'll tell you this right now, most businesses that are local, small and medium-sized businesses, you're not going to do content marketing at all and expect to drive a ton of traffic. Why? Because national brands usually out-compete small businesses, right? So what does that mean? It means if I have a plumber in Georgia, there's some plumbing company out there that is a national brand that has a lot more traffic than little plumber in Atlanta, Georgia has on his website, meaning their articles or their content is much more likely to rank than little plumber in Atlanta, Georgia, right? But what I can do is rank locally using PPC and SEO. Also, you have to think, well, does social media make sense? When would I run a social media ad? How does the nature of a plumbing business work? Well, plumbing is a type of business where the customers only really need a plumber when they have an issue with their plumbing, right? They don't need a plumber. If the toilet's working, the shower's working, the sink's working, do I need a plumber? No. So I'm not sitting on Facebook looking at random ads as I'm scrolling through like, oh, that's a plumber, I'm going to save him for later. Who does that? Nobody does that. The only time I am looking for a plumber is when I'm actively looking for a plumber, meaning I have something wrong with my plumbing. I need to go look and find a plumber. You're not going to go to social media to do that, right? You're going to sit there and scroll for freaking ever because there's not going to be a plumber ad. You're never going to see one. So where do you go? PPC, which is Google, and SEO, which is also Google, right? So that means if I have a plumbing business as a client, I need to primarily focus on PPC and SEO to drive new traffic to their website. All right. Next, middle of funnel. This is the remarketing phase of a marketing campaign. All right, so what works well in remarketing? Social media ads. And I'll come back up and I'll talk about how you can use social media in top of funnel in a second. Social media works great. What else? I could do PPC, but it's not the greatest. I will say you're not going to get a ton of remarketing abilities or instances with PPC, although you can, just not one of the strongest ones. Social, and guess what? Email and SMS, which is text message marketing. That's pretty much it for remarketing. Like, these are the best remarketing tools that are out there. SEO, kind of. It depends if you... God, I don't have enough time. If you want me to really get into it, essentially, SEO is we're really looking more at the content marketing side of SEO. And what that means is we're going to create content for top of funnel content, content for middle of funnel content, people that are almost at that buying point, and then content for the conversion stage or bottom of funnel when people are ready to buy, what's the content they're looking for. But again, I don't even want to look at SEO and content marketing for this. Really, guys, it's social media and email and SMS campaigns. These are the two most popular forms of remarketing right now. And we can even throw, what I will say is we'll throw YouTube in here as well, because YouTube is a search engine, guys. It's more based in SEO than anything. But their ad platform is really fantastic, and that's actually more PPC, right? So YouTube, social media, email, SMS. Those are the most effective forms for middle of funnel campaigns. And what are we doing here? All we're doing is we're sending out value. We're sending out testimonial campaigns, showing people why customers love our business. We're showing authoritative videos or content that are based around, we've been ranked the #1 plumbing company in Atlanta for the last 30 years running. Who else would you trust? We're ranked #1, right? And then you have the bottom of funnel, which consists of a few things. Number one, you have to have a website. You have to have a badass website, because this is where they're going to go to set the appointment, to call you, to message you, whatever it is that you're trying to get them to do. The website has to be primed for conversion. What other ways can we get people to convert? Social, right? Social is pretty much comprised of every step of the funnel if you know how to use it the right way. Again, if we're talking about this plumber, I'm not using social in the top of funnel unless they just have a massive budget. And in that instance, we're going to use it for a branding tool, not to drive a ton of leads. So social, and then more conversion, we can still focus on email and SMS. But again, for you small, this is where you have to think. All right, you guys have to be able to be a little bit intuitive with your thought process and say, okay, I'm talking about a plumber. Have you ever really signed up for somebody like a plumber's email list? No, probably not. Have you ever signed up for a criminal attorney's email list? Probably not, right? Because nobody uses local email. We use email for large brands, things that we're super attached to, where we know we can possibly get a download or a discount or something like that. Local businesses, not so much. But guess what does work? SMS is actually super effective for local remarketing campaigns, because everybody uses their phone and it's a little more personal. A local business is personal, right? So, that being said, that is 3-step marketing. You have to think about the type of business and does it make sense or not? Like, have I ever downloaded a plumber's email guide? Would I ever? No, I have no reason to. Unless I'm trying to be Mr. Fix-It at my house, in which case, that can be a way, but it needs to be a common, broad issue that 90% of people who have plumbing issues have. That's the way you would use that, right? So let's go back up really quick. I said social wasn't something you could use for this plumbing company unless we have a massive budget and we're going to use it for branding. So what is a company where I could, and I'm asking you guys this, I'm not going to answer the question. What is a company where I could use social media ads to drive top of funnel traffic? Where would that make the most sense? What type of company could I, be talking about where using social media ads in top of funnel makes a lot of sense? And as I wait for you guys to do that, I'm going to read some of these comments that were up top. Last couple of weeks, you've been bringing up here and there, we can't let people in our lives discourage us from doing anything that we set our minds to. You really motivated me with that, as I am 41 years old and I feel like I am lost a lot of the time. You've got me motivated again to set my mind to what I believe I can do, not what other people think. Thank you again for that. Kent, I'm glad that I could motivate you, man. The biggest thing, again, it's all about having the proper type of training and really being willing to invest in the right type of training. Again, this is not me trying to sell you. If you want to go buy somebody else's course or program or training, go ahead, because I know mine's the best. And that's why we offer it at such an affordable value. It's $549 compared to $1,000, which most of these people are charging, and they don't know shit about digital marketing. They have 2 years experience. So anyways, just make sure that you have the right training and that you're taking the right steps. Don't rush it. That's where a lot of people mess up, is they try to go get clients and they've watched 3 YouTube videos on how to start a marketing agency. You're dumb as hell. Like, that's like saying an attorney, no, let me back up. That's like saying somebody who made it through like the first phase of medical school, opened up a practice and is out there trying to get people to buy his medical services. Like, who's going to trust that guy? You're not even a doctor. Why the hell would I trust you to fix me or to, cut me open, do surgery, whatever it is, when you have less experience than I have with medical instances, like that makes no sense. And it's the same type of thing here, guys. Like, it doesn't make sense when these kids, and it's a lot of kids, a lot of it is just like the younger generation. They think they're just invincible. They think they know everything. And I get it. I was there too. I felt the exact same way. But here's the thing. You're not going to be successful. And that's one of my favorite questions people ask, like, oh, Jordan, is digital marketing or is marketing agency world, is it oversaturated, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, because there's a lot of idiots out there thinking they know what they're talking about when they take 2 free YouTube videos and think that they're digital marketing experts. They're not. Or they took a Udemy course for $20 that taught them, this is social media marketing. Social media marketing is about Facebook and Instagram. That's social media marketing. Like, no, it is so much more complex than that. And then people come back to me and they're wondering why they're struggling to get the results that they need or that they want. It's because you're not taking it seriously. So I'm done trying to help those people because it's not worth my time. If you're not going to commit to it, if you're not going to be serious, then I'm not going to commit to you. There's no way. I did it the first few years when I was starting this agency and starting this brand because I really genuinely want to help, and I still really do, but I'm tired of wasting time with people who don't really want it. They just want a quick way to make a quick buck. And this is a great way to build a business and to build a lifestyle and to build a solid income that will support you for the rest of your life. But if you think that you're just going to come in, spend a month learning, like I literally I remember on my call the other day, and this is not talking about him. I just asked him, I was like, hey, are you new to this? He goes, no, I'm not new. I was like, okay, so how long have you been doing this? About a month. I was like, okay, so you're brand new to this. Like, you're not an expert after a month. You're not even an expert after just going through a course one time. You still don't have practical application of the marketing that you've learned. Like, you cannot call yourself an expert just because you took a program. You actually have to practice it. You have to learn. You have to mess up. You have to make mistakes. And that's what everybody goes through to build an agency. At least the successful ones. But anyways, Kent, I'm really glad I got you motivated. Again, the biggest thing is just make sure you're doing everything the right way. You're taking the right steps. You're not trying to half-ass it, because that is where people fail. I want you guys to do me a favor. If I have hit a nerve with you today, or if I have kind of given you any type of motivation or advice, or if I've helped you find something out today, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Let other people know that this is not some bullshit channel. This is where serious agency owners come. Are you serious? I want to know. Are you guys serious agency owners? If so, put it in the chat. Do something. Hit the thumbs up button. Let me know you're actually serious about this. Because if you sit here and say anything otherwise, I'm probably either going to kick you out of the group or the chat, or I'm just not going to talk to you or answer your questions, because I cannot stand it. Like, I'm so over working with people who, oh yeah, I'm an expert. How long have you been doing it? Like a week. Well, then what the hell am I? I must be God. Like, if you're an expert, I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm God. So you have to do what I say now. Like, it's what it makes me feel like. I use Upwork for graphic designers, and I spend about $10 an hour, and we get amazing graphics done for that. Push, they're not confusing to create. I'm telling you, it's all about the education. When you understand all of, like, I remember Kashif, when I first started showing him, if you guys have seen Kashif, he's one of my students who is literally, he's at every mentorship call. He's usually on the live calls at night. He probably is on the live call. He just hasn't said anything because he's listening to me yell at people. But I remember when he first came in, he had the same mentality. He's like, dude, there is just so much going on. Now he's sitting there he's talking about things, and I can see the new knowledge coming out of him. I can see where things are starting to click. It's practice. You have to practice, and you have to have the right education. If all you are is in my mentorship program, again, it's a great program, but if you don't have the foundation to start with, what do you need mentorship for? Like, if you haven't taken an actual training program, you're going backwards. It's like saying, okay, well, I want to learn how to play hockey. I'm going to go get a hockey mentor first, and we're going to talk about how I can improve my game. Wait a second. You've never played. You don't have any game. Why do you need a coach or like a mentor to improve your game when you don't currently have a game? You've never even laced up skates before. Like it's that's what a lot of people do. They go get mentorship and they've never taken a training program. If you want mentorship, great, but start with the schooling. Like, God, it's so crazy to me how people go backwards so many different ways in this industry and with this business. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It really baffles me. And then they come to me upset, like, I don't know what to do. I've been trying for so long. Have you taken a training program? No. How long have you been doing this? A year. There's your issue right there. And I try to lay it out to them, and they're like, yeah, but, and it's always, yeah, but, excuse. Yeah, but, excuse. Every single time. It's always the same thing. Can you remarket people that visit your Facebook page? Hell yeah, you can. That would be messed up if I could send ads to people who had visited my website but not my Facebook page. I'd be pretty pissed at Facebook, like, guys, really? It depends. So usually with VAs, we don't do contractual agreements, Nicholas, just so you know. I don't really, have, if anything, we make them sign an NDA, which is a non-disclosure, meaning they can't go out there and start talking about information that they've seen internally. But outside of that, not really. Let's see. I don't know how to do SEO. Like Tina said, start with the basic course, work your way up from there into the digital marketing school. I promise you. And the $7 one, it's a great start. It's not going to teach you everything you need to know about SEO though. It will teach you the basics of SEO. So you have it. That's what it's a $7 program, guys. Like, I actually have people who get upset with me that I didn't give them every step-by-step guide and template and tutorial that I have to offer in my $7 program. I was like, dude, block. Like, so quick. I am so quick to block people these days. Like, if you guys want to complain about a $7 program that I even state from the beginning, it's an intro-level program. It's not going to teach you everything you want to know, but it will give you an idea of whether or not this is the right type of business for you to approach or for you to go after. It's just so funny. So many people, man, they half-ass things. And I'm not saying you are teen ambition, so I'm just speaking in general. So I think they're both, I mean, honestly, Romeo, I think they're both great. Either lead gen forms on Facebook ads or landing pages. Both of them can be great. It's all about the offer, the copy, and the quality of the creative that you're actually showing people. But either way, they can all be great methods for you to generate leads. And some, like lead forms versus landing pages, sometimes lead forms work better in different industries. Sometimes landing pages work better in different industries. That's really where you have to do your research to figure out what's going to work best. No business will trust you if you say you're not an expert. But that's the thing. It's not about that. That's not the point I'm trying to make. You're not trying to go into the business and say, hey, I'm an expert. You're just trying to go in there and get them to feel like you are an expert. But you can't become an expert if you've never taken a real training program and then tried to apply some of it. You have to. I'm not God, guys. I'm really not. I appreciate that, guys. But the point I'm trying to make is if some kid can come out here and say, I'm an expert after a month, what does 10 years equate to? Because you've got to be so far past. I'm like Yoda. Of course. Kai, my intro level course is $7, which again, it's only like 14 lessons, but it's to get people information on what they need to learn to start an agency. If you want my actual full-fledged course with over 100 video trainings, over 40 hours of content, quizzes, templates, scripts, guides, everything that you need to do it yourself, it's $549. All of the links, by the way, for all of my programs, if you're wanting to find any of these, if you go right below this video in the description, you will see the links for the courses. Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to start with the $7 course. That's just options. I like to provide options for everybody. So, um, sorry, I was reading something. Yeah, the $7. You don't have to start there if you're ready to take that. Like if you know that, and that's why I did it, because a lot of people don't know what digital marketing is. They don't know if this is going to be the business for them, and so they're like, yeah, I'll look at something cheap. Right? That makes sense. Don't spend $549 if you don't even know what you're spending $549 on. But if you know for a fact you want to start a marketing agency, buy the full program. That's what's going to get you there. And if you have the budget, we even offer a program where my agency will work with you. We don't do everything for you. There are some things that are done for you, but for the most part, we work with you to guide you, and you get that one-on-one mentorship, that one-on-one support and training that you're looking for. That's called the Done With You Agency. It's our newest program. That one's $4,500, but I promise you, like, you get done in 2 months and your agency is set up and ready to go. Most people, what I've found, and again, this is from over 4,000 students, tens of thousands of agency owners, and 4 years of training people on how to start an agency, I have learned the secrets to all of this stuff, to training you guys, to making sure that you're able to get there successful. Here's the thing. People who want to do it themselves, I admire them. I totally get that. Like, you want to do it yourself, you want to learn every aspect, fine. Totally respectable. But it's going to take you longer. It usually takes those people about 8 to 12 months to get their agency completely set up and a base client list that's solid and not going anywhere. The Done With You program, the reason why we created this is because people wanted to get there faster. And some people have a little bit more money to spend to get there faster. So we wanted to provide them with that option. So what you do is you actually purchase that program, and then you're able to work with our team. We help you build everything in your agency because we know exactly what to do, in what order. Like, we know exactly what you need. It is just so much easier because you have a guide from a successful agency owner that's able to provide you with that information. Well, Kent, I'm glad you're in the program, and it's smart of you to take it slow. Those people who try to blaze through my program in 2 weeks, not to say it's impossible, because we've had some students go through it in 2 weeks and build a successful agency. It is much harder to do in 2 weeks than to take your time and go through things thoroughly and make sure you completely understand it all. Thoughts on Iman Gadzhi? Again, he's got 2 years of experience. He's done well for himself, but who would you trust? Somebody who has 10 to 15 years of experience doing this in digital marketing, or somebody who has 2 years of experience and their whole program is based around social media marketing? That's why Iman Gadzhi, if you missed it earlier in this video, I was talking about how I have 10 times the amount of traffic to my website. He doesn't know anything about SEO. He doesn't really know anything about creating a content marketing strategy. He doesn't know PPC. He has somebody who runs his PPC campaigns for him, and even then, we're still killing him with traffic, just from organic traffic to our website. We, like Joe Soto, you guys heard of Joe Soto in Tai Lopez's course? He's receiving a third of the traffic to his website that we receive every single month. That's the thing. Like, like, Joe Soto runs a 7-figure agency. He is a smart guy. But as far as knowing how he primarily focuses in social media marketing. That's really what his bread and butter is. Social media, lead campaigns, building sales funnels. That's really it. But when it comes to an all-out understanding on digital marketing, I've been doing all of this stuff for 10 years. So again, it's up to you. And it's ultimately going to come to you to make the decision. Would you rather learn from someone who has 2 years of experience and really just kind of started this whole thing? Like, he just started his journey. He's on the same page as a lot of you. He's just been able to do it faster. Or would you rather learn from somebody who's actually done it for 10 plus years? What makes more sense to you? That's all I'm trying to say. Would you rather learn from someone who actually has a ton of website traffic because they know how to create quality content and they've done it over and over and over again? Or would you rather learn from somebody who creates a blog article and receives less than 1,000 visitors to their site every month, when there's hundreds of thousands of you out there looking for this kind of content? It just doesn't make sense to me. But We're going to wrap up today. We're going to do a giveaway for the mentorship program. Who would like to play and who would like to win the mentorship program? If you do, you have to say yes in the chat. I want to show you guys this. This is just the last 3 months to Serial Entrepreneur Academy. 48,000 clicks, 3.14 million impressions. Don't worry about average position because this is with 400 articles. You're never going to have anything. This will never be average 1 unless you have 3 blog articles and they all rank in the top 10 of search results. It's like impossible to get this below 10. And if you really know content marketing, you'll know this isn't terrible. But 48.9 thousand clicks, 3.14 million. He's like not even a third of this. I'm just saying, do you really want to learn from someone who knows what they're talking about? Or do you want to learn from someone who knows what they're talking about? Tina, you're close. So it's called cost plus pricing. It's a pricing model called cost plus pricing. You figure out your cost, which is your labor and software, like you said, plus your profit margin. Jesus. Your cost plus your profit margin equals what you want to earn. So if your cost is $1,000, your profit margin, let's just say, is 30%, then you want to make at least $1,300, right? Because that means you profited $300. Make sense? Now, in the industry, in the agency industry, depends on who you're asking, but most people would say that you're going to work with like a 60% profit margin. So if your cost is about $1,000, you're going to want to charge about $1,600. That's a little bit better of a model to work on because this is different than your average service-based industry. We don't have a lot of overhead. There's hardly anything. Who even is this other guy? Does the course update all of the Facebook and Instagram updates when they change? So, all right, let me put it to you like this. Yes and no. If Facebook actually adds in a new tool or a feature to Facebook that is actually going to change the way you run ads, yes, we do an update. If it's a cosmetic issue, meaning Facebook's business manager, the way it looks, has changed 55 times in the last 3 years because they can't figure out the way they freaking want it to look, which pisses me off, trust me. But I'm not going to create a new video just because they've changed the look of it a little bit. All of the features are still the same. They're all in the same exact place. The top left is the drop down. You find everything you need from there. It's all the same. So I'm not going to make a new video to say, hey, by the way, Facebook moved this button from here to here. Like, not going to do an update video on that. But if it's something related to how to actually run ads or a feature that Facebook is adding to make it easier for you to run ads or that is incorporated with running ads, then yes, that's when we make updates to the training. We always keep the course updated. All right, guys, so you guys want to win the mentorship program. All right, well, since all of you are here, you should all be able to answer this. What is the pricing model or the name of the pricing model that I just mentioned? It is blank plus pricing. Or, well, I mean, that's the name of it. It's blank plus pricing. What's the first word in that sentence? Blank plus profit margin. Blank plus pricing. I keep wanting to say profit. And it's not profit. Look at Tina. Tina wanted to win. Congratulations, Tina. You were first today. Tina, do you already have access to the mentorship program? Yep, it's cost plus pricing. It was easy. It was easy. But I wanted to give you guys something that everybody who was here could get. Because if I said something from the beginning, although I should do from the beginning, so that way y'all start showing up on time, making sure you're here for the whole video. But Tina, you are today's winner. Congratulations. So again, if you guys have won before, you do need to message me at facebook.com/serialentrepreneur. Let us know you won, and we will get you inside the mentorship program. But again, guys, if you go ahead and try to message us and you didn't win, we do verify this, so don't waste your time. Like, you can try to send me a message and say, oh, yeah, well, I won. And I'm going to be like, no, you didn't. So Tina Anderson is the winner for today. Tina, thank you very much for playing. Thank you all very much for playing. But, yeah, the answer is cost plus pricing. And if you guys don't know what that is, you should definitely go look it up, because it is how you will build your pricing for your agency. It's how pretty much every service-based business builds out their pricing model. The biggest thing that you need to figure out is, what is your profit margin going to be? What do you think your profit margin needs to be? Today's winner. Every week you do it? Yep, I do it every single week. Well, usually every single week. I'm putting my shoes on because I've been in here all day. All right, but that is it, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live call. I'm going to get out of here and go home and go get some rest. It's been a long day. But oh, excuse me. And I've got an early meeting tomorrow. I've got a potential client coming in the office to talk about a website and partnership. So hopefully that goes well. It usually does go well, especially when they get in here. They see the office and they see how like fun it is, and they get to meet the whole team and everything like that. It's usually a pretty easy sell then. But anyways, guys, I'm going to hop off. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your week. As always, we are... because I have clients I want in, but I'm not like 549 in. I'd want to skip parts like getting clients, really just want some knowledge tailored to my specific industries and what marketing channels are best and how to do them at a professional level. Well, Kai, again, I can't really just piecemeal you the course, but if you want into the $549 course, it is there. You just got to go get it. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great rest of your week. Great weekend. And again, I'm here every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an hour to answer your questions about starting a marketing agency. So hopefully I will get to see you guys again next week. But that's it for now.